Obviously the combine is happening right now as we're recording. David Jones was invited. It was announced maybe about a month ago. It was announced that he was invited to the combine. Nae'Qwan Tomlin was at the G League Elite Camp, and due to his play was invited to the combine as well, alongside former Tiger Boogie Ellis. Was also at the G League Elite Camp and was invited to the combine as well. Obviously, I haven't seen any footage coming out from it. I didn't get to watch anything about it today. But David, the big thing that came out about David was the fact that, he was listed at 6'6", but was measured at 6'3.5" with a 6'7" wingspan. Does that impact his draftability, his ability to like maybe even get a two-way or a G League contract? Like, does that change the calculus for y'all in terms of the outlook for him moving forward?
Well, I pretty much thought of him as a second rounder to undrafted guy to begin with. Now, obviously, being listed at 6'6" and then getting measured at 6'3.5", that's not going to help you at all. Like, it's not. But it doesn't change my NBA prospect, view on him too much, because I already had, I don't want to say a low opinion on him, but a skeptical one for sure. Because David Jones can score with anybody on the professional level, probably. I mean, he would definitely be able to score against professional defenders. There's no doubt about that. But what about the ball handling? What about the defensive IQ, the on-ball defense in general? I mean, I know that Penny kind of gave him the green light to gamble on defense at time last year, but he still gambled way too much, right? There's still a lot of things that need to be worked out in his game that, if not, can get him ran out of the NBA real quick. And I think scouts are already seeing that already. I don't know if he's going to be able to make up for that in these private workouts or the combine or anything. I mean, the private workouts are going to more so determine what happens with him than the combine for sure, because it could be like a lesser situation where a team just falls in love with him, gives him the promise, and then that's it. You just never know. But on the flip side of that, if David Jones were to not withdraw from the draft and not return to Memphis, I'm fairly certain he would be leaving significant money on the table. I don't know if that was the case with Lester. So we got to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, I mean, are we working off the assumption that David Jones is going to be a small forward in the NBA? I mean,
not at 6'3".
That's the only thing I can imagine.
Not at 6'3".
That's exactly where I'm going, right? I mean, you have, I think of the Grizzlies, like Marcus Smart is playing the three. Tony Allen was 6'4" playing the three. But those are two guys that are just absolute dogs on defense, right? They kind of pride themselves in a different role than what you're going to have from David Jones. And I don't know that you can be 6'3.5". Obviously, that's without shoes, I think. So unless he's wearing like some
lift
or like one of the taller shoes. Like, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make.
I mean, with shoes, he's probably closer to 6'4", 6'5", if he's 6'3.5".
Yeah.
But
like,
still.
What are we talking about? Are we up against Kobe Johnson and David Jones for a late second round pick, or maybe a two-way deal? Like, I could see someone taking a Kobe Johnson, or a guy that is a 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" wing that just has incredible length to them, and they've got the traits that you can't really teach. You can't teach the length like that. With David Jones, I mean, you can't make them longer. You can find other guys and turn them into scorers. So I don't think it bodes well that he's so at 6'3.5" without shoes, and especially since you project him to be a small forward. I don't think he can be a 2. So I don't know. And I think you have a good point, though. Someone could definitely fall in love with him. Especially he could easily find himself into a guaranteed two-way deal because of his ability to score. Just come in and kind of be a lightning in a bottle type of situation. But that 6'3.5" is something I talked about last week. I didn't think he was actually going to come back and measure at 6'6" by any means. And I think it hurts him. He does have a plus wingspan, though. I guess that's a positive, right?
But even that, a 6'7" wingspan is not great.
It's nothing, yeah.
It's not great. All right, I have a question for both of y'all, and I want you to give me one word answer, and then we can talk about it. This will be the last topic for this segment. But who's a better NBA prospect, Nae'Qwan or David?
Nae'Qwan.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're talking about David Jones, honorable mention All-American last year, 20-something scouts every single game, and you're telling me Nae'Qwan's a better NBA prospect?
This isn't about who's the better college basketball player. It's about the better pro prospect, you know? Nae'Qwan Tomlin, he's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got the ability on both ends of the floor. I think he handles the ball extremely well for his position. I think he's got really solid IQ. You know, rebounds extremely well, can block shots. He can be, you know, a 3, 4, 5. He has position versatility. I don't think Jones has much of that from a pro perspective. If you're talking about who would I rather build a college basketball roster around, definitely David Jones.
Yeah.
But pro ball, give me Nae'Qwan for sure.
Yeah, it's Nae'Qwan all day. He, like we said, he's got the measurements. He's so mobile for a guy his size. You can ask him to do multiple things. He can play arguably the 3, 4, or 5, right? I mean, if we were able to see Yuta Watanabe play the 3 effectively in the NBA, I don't see any reason why Nae'Qwan couldn't play the 3 effectively. Yeah,
Right.
Santi Aldama has played the 3 at times. Like, what's the difference between Santi and Nae'Qwan in terms of mobility? Like, I would honestly argue Tomlin probably has more upside there. He nailed it. I mean, if we're talking about a college team, it's David Jones, but pro prospect, what are you going to do with the 6'3.5" David Jones versus 7 foot 6'11" Nae'Qwan Tomlin?
Yeah.
Taking Nae'Qwan every day.
I mean, even if he comes back listed at 6'8", he's still a dude 6'9", which we don't know. Go ahead.
We saw Tyreek, or no, I was going to say we saw Tark Black have an NBA career.
Yeah.
Who's better between Tark Black and Nae'Qwan Tomlin?
Let's go. I agree.